DreAllDay.com.
You are now listening to the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there, even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved, and the personal initiative to be a go-getter and go make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. Then we put all this together into a series of principles, strategies, frameworks, philosophies, and mindset, all under one umbrella. We got a whole bunch of books on the subject as well, and it is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today we are on part 4 of 5, where we are going over the 20 key takeaways, benefits, lessons, and learnings that I have gotten from doing 2,000 daily episodes of the Work on Your Game Masterclass. As promised today, the subject is you, the listener, the person who has been tuning in, the reason that this show exists, the reason that this show goes on, the reason why I turn on the mic every day is you as the listener. So let's get right into it. But before we do that, let me tell everybody to have a text message line where I want you to text me so that you can get my daily motivation text that I send out every day straight to your phone, same way you get a text from anyone else. Here's the number that you need to text. Number is 305-384-6894. Just send a quick hello. You can introduce yourself if you want. I will text you back and ask you some questions once I get around to checking my text. Every day I spend some time checking my text messages, responding to people's messages. So not only will you get the daily motivation, which comes out every morning, you also will be able to engage with me directly. You can ask a question, share a challenge, etc. I send people links. I help people through certain challenges that they're dealing with through the text messages that we send, and it's just me and you in that text there. So if you want to engage with me directly, that is the best way to do it. That number, again, is down below in the description of this episode. So this topic here today, we are specifically talking about what I've learned on this show, key benefits and takeaways in the show, and how today I'm talking about how it relates to you. So we talked about me, we talked about my purpose, we talked about the brand and the business. Now we're going to talk about you moving forward. And we're going to start right where we left off, point number 13. As I've already said, I said this in the previous 2 episodes. I'm going to say it again in this episode. The Work on Your Game podcast shall continue. And here's something I haven't said. My plan is to keep this show free for the foreseeable future. So I'm not going to start charging for the show. I'm not going to put the show behind a paywall. I'm going to keep the show free and put it out for free with all this game every single day. The material that I'm putting out, I know, is sale worthy. I could sell what I'm putting out here on the show. I can make a course about the stuff I'm putting out here on the show and sell it. But I'm going to keep this show out here for free. Now, from what I hear, Apple and maybe even Spotify are making some noise and dropping hints about possibly offering a paywall in their own apps. So if you're listening to this on the Apple Podcast app, for example, Apple has talked about how they are going to, this is going to happen. It hasn't happened as of this recording, but it's going to happen. They are going to allow podcast hosts to put their show behind a paywall to where people can pay right there on your iPhone in the podcast app and pay for access to somebody's podcast. That is definitely going to happen. They haven't done it yet, but it's absolutely happening. Spotify may come around and do the exact same thing, even though Spotify might be a little bit different because Spotify already is an app that you pay for, whereas the podcast app that comes on our phones, we don't pay for access to that app. But this is something that's absolutely happening. I'm interested to see how Apple does it. Are they going to make it to where your whole show has to be paid or unpaid? Are they going to make it to where you can make certain episodes, put them behind a paywall and let people pay for like an extra episode or something that, let's say somebody has 100 episodes, they make 20 of them paid and the other 80 are free. What are they going to do with it? So I'm interested to see what Apple is going to do with these options that they say are coming. I am 99% sure the options are coming. I just want to know how they do it, how they roll it out, how easy it is to set up and how easy it is for users to use it. And also, I want to know how much money Apple is taking from every transaction, because I guarantee you they're going to make some money on this. They got to have some skin in the game. And that's one of the reasons why, as I've talked about in the many episodes on influencing and using platforms that you don't own, is that those platforms have to get something out of anything that you're doing. What are you getting out of it? All right, what are they getting out of it, rather, when you're making money? They're taking a cut of your money. How much of a cut is okay with you? And if all of what you do is on their platform, what they decide, you know what, we're going to shut you down, we don't even want your money anymore, what are you going to do? Those are things that you want to keep in mind. And these are things I think about all the time, anytime I think about going in any deeper with any platform that is not owned by Work on Your Game Incorporated, that I decide to put any of my material on. So with all that said, we'll see what Apple ends up doing with that. But here's what I'm telling you. This show Every day a new episode will continue to come out for free directly to you every single day. All right, you got my word on that. Now, if I get involved in anything Apple's doing, maybe I'll put out some additional episodes. Maybe I'll do something extra, like we got each episode every day. Maybe I'll put out, instead of 365 episodes a year, maybe I'll put out 500, and then that extra 150, maybe I would charge for that, just as an example. Now, I'm not saying that's what I'm going to do. I don't even know that would be possible. I don't know how Apple's going to set it up, but something like this is on the way. I just don't know what. Now, some of you, if you've been listening long enough, you may recall that I used to have the game group membership where I put the majority of material of this show behind a paywall, but I ended up ending that because it just wasn't the right offer. It wasn't set up the way that I wanted to. It wasn't seamless enough for me or for you. And we'll see what Apple has in mind. But as of this recording, I'm planning to keep this show 100% free, new episode every single day as you know it. So all that said, let's move on to point number 14. Today's topic, once again, we are talking the 20 most important lessons, takeaways, and benefits gotten from doing 2,000 daily episodes of Work on Your Game show as it relates to you. Number 14, I need your feedback. I need feedback on this show. Now, while the reviews are great, if you have not yet left a review of the Work on Your Game podcast on the Apple Podcast app, please go leave a review and tell me what you've been getting from the show. I want to know. I need to hear from my audience. This is market research. I need to know what people are getting from the show so I know what's working and what's not working. But if you don't tell me, then I can't know. So the reviews are great. And somehow, some way, the reviews are factored into Apple's rankings. Like I talked about in yesterday's episode, that we don't know the exact formula for how they rank shows. But we know that people listening to your show, subscribing to your show, and leaving a rating of the show are all good things. So if you listen to these episodes, that's good. If you are subscribed, hopefully you are, because why would you want to look up the show every day? Just subscribe, because it's coming out every day. All right, we're like a train every day. And leave us a rating and a review of the show. Those are the three things you can do to help this show get to the ranking that we want to get it to. So if you haven't left a review yet, please go leave a review. If you watch this on YouTube, let's say you're not listening on a podcast app, but you just watch it because you're subscribed to me on YouTube. And again, I told you that by the time you see an episode of this show on YouTube, it has been out for at least 3 months by the time you see it on YouTube. But if you're fine with that, so am I. It's evergreen content, so it doesn't matter when it comes out. If you're watching on YouTube, leave comments. So when you watch a video, leave a comment. Let me know what you got from it. Let me know your best takeaway. Let me know if you want to challenge me on a point. Anything, leave a comment. That helps the show or the video move up in the YouTube algorithm. And YouTube's algorithm is a little bit more easily discernible than Apple's, but either way, leaving a comment will help us. And wherever you listen to the show, I don't care where you listen, make sure you are subscribed so that every new episode is already loaded into your phone every single day. So you don't have to go looking around for Dre Baldwin's Work on Your Game podcast every day. It's already loaded in your phone. As soon as you open the app, it'll say, hey, ready to listen to the next episode of Work on Your Game? Because there will be one every single day. And another thing you can do to give me feedback on the show is send me a text message. My number is 305-384-6894. Tell me the best insight you got from an episode. If there was a quote that really stuck with you. If it's something that I said that's really going to alter the way that you think about things, send me a text message and let me know what that is. And you also just get the daily motivation. Even if all you want is the daily motivation, text me so you get the daily motivation. And then if anything ever pops up, go ahead and text me about it, because every day I spend time going through my texts and checking. And also another thing that you can do that I have never mentioned here is share the show. So when you're listening to an episode, tell somebody to come listen with you, because you know that I'm giving some valuable game that could apply to them as well as it applies to you. And if you have any friends who need some help with certain things and you know I've talked about it here on this show, send your friend a link to an episode of this show, because you know it will resonate with them. If you're listening and you know that I'm killing it and the episode is great, take a screenshot on your phone as you're listening and post it on your social media and tag me. My Instagram is at Dre Baldwin. My Twitter is at Dre All Day. Post it on your social media and tag me like, yo, I'm listening to Dre All Day and he's dropping jewels right now in this episode. All of those are things that you can do to give me feedback. Let me know what is resonating with you. Let me know where you're getting value. Let me know that you are out there, because when you're on this microphone in front of this camera and talking, we can, as a creator, I can look at the stats. I can see, all right, this many people listen to this episode. This got this many likes and comments. And I mean, the comments, I know that there's a person because the person commented. And I know when someone leaves a review because I can see what they say. But if I see that 5,000 people listen to this episode and there's 2 comments, Now, I want to know what the other 4,998 people thought of what they heard. I want to know. So give me feedback. One of the best ways that you can help an artist, and this is art, what I'm doing here when it comes to podcasting, book writing, things like that. One of the best ways that you as a consumer can help an artist is, of course, you can buy their stuff and give them money in some way, shape, or form. That's cool. I'm not asking for your money. What I want is your feedback. I need to know what I'm giving you that is helping you. I need to know what I'm giving you that maybe if you don't understand something, if you're confused about something, if there's some gaps in the way I explain something, I want to know those things. The best way you can help an artist is to give them feedback on their work. When somebody makes food for you, Anna said this to me the other day. She had made some food and I ate some of it. And then when I finished eating, I don't even know what I did. I went and did something else. I started talking about something completely off the subject of the food. And she said, well, did you like the food? And I said, yes, I did. She said, well, when somebody makes food, you got to tell them how you feel about it. It helps the cook. And she was absolutely right. So I'm the cook right now making this show. You got to tell me that you like the food. Give me feedback on what you are hearing here on this show. You can text it to me. You can post it in the podcast app. You can post a comment on YouTube. Post it on your social media and tag me in it, but I need to know what you are getting out of this show. That's the best way that you can help me, is to give me feedback on the show. I'm giving you the show, all this game for free every day. All I'm asking you to do is give me some feedback. I need to know what you are getting from these episodes. I can't just be out here talking to the lens and talking to the mic, but not knowing what's working and what's not. So help me out with that. Can you do that? Great. Point number 15. Today's topic, once again, we are going over the 20 best takeaways and benefits and lessons that I've gotten from doing 2,000 daily episodes of this show as it relates to you. Number 15, I want to give a thank you to everybody who is listening to this show. Even if this is the first episode you have ever listened to, even if you didn't know who I was 3 weeks ago and you're listening to the show now because you like the game that I'm giving, even if you're listening to this maybe because you saw my ad on social media and you went and got one of my free books and you're reading it right now, so then you decided, let me see what else this guy's doing, and now you're listening. Or if you're a person who's known about me for years, maybe even before I had a podcast, and you're still tuned in, or you've been following this podcast for a very long time and listening to every episode every day when you drive to work, whoever you are, if you are listening to this show, I want to offer my genuine thanks to you for being a member of my audience, and not only for your listening to the show, but also for the engagement that I just asked for more of in point 14, for the engagement, all the feedback that I'm getting from you all about the show, the reviews, the comments, the responses that people give me, the questions that people ask that sometimes become future material. I can make material out of damn near anything, any experience, anything I hear, read, or see. I can make material out of it. That's a skill that I've developed simply because I create so much content. It's not that I just come up with these things out of thin air. I come up with them by observing life. And one way I can observe life is to hear directly from people who are already consuming what I'm talking about. Y'all are the best source. Now, it's one thing to come up with a content idea from some random occurrence. It's another one when I come up with a content idea from someone who is already engaging with my content. And they're looking for something that can maybe be the glue between what they know and what I've talked about. I need to know that you're looking for that so that I have the idea and I can go make it. I mean, you know I can do that, right? So continue sharing feedback and continue asking questions and sharing comments, because it helps fuel me to keep the show going. When someone asks me a question or shares a comment about something that I said on this show, yes, of course I can respond to whatever it is that they said, but it also tells me that you're listening, and it also tells me that you're paying attention, that you're thinking about what you're hearing. You're not just listening and it's going in one ear and out the other. You're not just listening and saying, okay, well, it must be 100% true because Dre said it. Don't do that. No. Question everything that you hear, even if you hear it from me. And if you have a challenge about something and I don't answer that question, at least in my recording, in the episode, then ask me the question and I can fill you in. Maybe I need to make another episode. Maybe it's something that I said, but I didn't say it clearly enough. And next time I talk about it, I need to make sure I'm better at articulating. These are all things that I'm inferring whenever someone comes to me with feedback about anything that I put out. But if you're not giving me feedback, then I can't do any of these things. I'm only capable of inferring when someone actually engages. You must engage for me to infer. For me to know these things, you have to tell me what is going on and what's going on in your mind, what's going on with how you feel about anything that I've shared. So this is why I am emphasizing that I need you to engage. So I do actually reply to things like comments online. I do reply when people text me, as I've already told you. So if there's any topic that I have not covered, which is probably unlikely, tell me what it is. Or I will point you to where it is, where I have already covered it so that you know, and then you can consume it. And maybe I'll do it again because maybe I might have said something about a certain topic 5 years ago and it was good then, but now that I've thought about it more and I'm better at explaining myself and I have 5 years of experience under my belt now that I didn't have before, maybe I might know it. Let me talk about that again and say it in a different way because I can be more clear this time. So I'll win, you'll win, the algorithm wins because there's more content, everybody wins. But I need you to give me feedback in order for this process to go into motion. All right, I can come up with ideas on my own, but it's better if I get an idea from someone who is already engaged because I know it is highly targeted. It's specifically to what you want. It's not me just figuring out or guessing or thinking that I know what you want. You can tell me directly. Moving on to point number 16. Today's topic again, top 20 takeaways from 2,000 daily episodes of this show as it relates to you. Number 16. I need everyone who's in this audience. I need you to stay sharp, stay focused, stay on point, and continue wanting the game. Understand that I'm always going to give you the game as it is. I'm going to give you the game as it pertains to you. I'm going to explain to you why the game is what it is, even if you don't like it. I'm going to explain to you why you don't like it. I'm going to explain to you why it is what it is, and that if you don't like it, that's fine, but the game ain't changing because you don't like it. All right? Chocolate ice cream doesn't change to vanilla because you don't like chocolate. All right? The game is the game. I want you to stay sharp, focused, and on point in wanting the game because I'm going to keep delivering it. Guaranteed, I'm going to keep showing up. I just need you to keep showing up. Now, what I talk about here, work on your game. I've made this clear many times. This ain't for everybody. All right, this type of show is for a certain type of individual who is serious about their game, serious about advancing in life, serious about getting these philosophies, these strategies, these mindsets, these things to stay focused, sharp strategies, and staying on point in their life. Not everybody is on that same wave. And I mean, you look around their life, you can probably already see yourself that not everybody's on that wave, but anyone who's into personal, professional development, continual self-evaluation, and continual self-improvement, that's my audience. So you wanting this and you being part of the population of people who does want this, it empowers me to share it. Because if this audience didn't exist, then I wouldn't be talking about it because clearly nobody else in the world wants it. Then why would I talk about it? I'd be talking to myself. So I need you to stay in the game so I can continue giving you the game. As long as you can do that, I can do my part. All that said, let's recap today's class, which is part 4 of 5. I'm going over the 20 key takeaways, lessons, and benefits from doing 2,000 daily episodes of the Work on Your Game show. Today's topic is you. Number 13. The Work on Your Game podcast will continue. I plan on keeping it for free for the foreseeable future, even as Apple introduces paywalls and ability to charge people directly for listening to the show right there in the podcast app. And again, this show is not hosted by Apple. It's hosted actually by SoundCloud. So who knows what they're going to set up, what Apple has in mind, we'll see. And even if I do use it, it's not going to, it would be me doing more stuff, not taking away from what you already have access to. So the daily episodes will still be as they are and it will still be free. Point number 14, I need feedback on the show. The reviews are great and they help the rankings somehow, some way. I don't even know how. So if you haven't left a review, go ahead, leave a review. If you watch this on YouTube, leave comments. Wherever you listen, subscribe so you get the new one every time. And send me a text at 305-384-6894 so you get the daily motivation and you can tell me what you've been getting from listening to the show. Tell your friends about the show. Send them links to episodes that you think will help them out. You hear something that you know will help one of your boys, just send them the link. Don't even ask them. Just send it to them and tell them to listen to the show. Take screenshots of episodes that you like. Post them on your social media stories and tag me in them so that I know that you're listening to the show. All of those things help me because it tells me that now I can put a face to these numbers of people who are actually listening. Number 15. Thank you to everybody in the audience, not only for listening, but for engaging, for all the feedback. Y'all know that I read and reply to my own feedback. I do not assign that to assistants. I don't assign that to bots. Well, maybe assistants might go through and get rid of troll and spam and stuff like that. But actual people saying things to me, I need to see every single one of them. So every email, every text, comments that are not spam comments, I get all of those and I see all of those. I want that feedback and I appreciate all of you who have been sharing feedback. Point number 16. I need you to stay sharp, focused, and on point in wanting the game. That is the only reason that I'm giving the game out because I know there are people out there who want it. This is not for everybody. Not everyone's into personal and professional development. Not everyone wants to evaluate themselves. Not everyone's into self-improvement, believe it or not. So you wanting to improve, that empowers me to share stuff to help you improve. So as long as you stay in the game, I'll stay in the game. We got a deal? Good. Now, if you're the type of person who might be interested in some coaching, you're ready to take things to the next level and ready to get double the results in half the time, then you might be great for working with me in my 3rd Day Mastermind. It's the only place that I offer one-on-one coaching where we focus high level on strategy, accountability, then strategy, then execution. Accountability, strategy, execution. If you are looking for help in those areas, whether it be with your business, whether you're personal, whether it's your fitness, your finances, your brand, whatever it is, then go to workonyourgameuniversity.com/call, CALL. The link is down below. We'll hop on a Zoom call. I want to find out who you are, what you're about, where you're headed, how can I help you get there, and we're going to strategize out how we make it happen. So that is at workonyourgameuniversity.com/call. And you already got my text message line. You want to get my daily motivation text, just send me a text real quick at this number, 305-384-6894. Tomorrow, part 5 of 5, I'm going to give you some advice. Work on your game. Dre all day.